It's all about fall. It's all about this beautiful sunny weather that we're seeing today, cooler temperatures, maybe even a little bit of frost here and there. And it's all about pumpkins, it's all about squash, it's all about decoration with corn, scarecrows. It's fall in Michigan. It's a fantastic time of the year for you, the wife, the husband, grandma, grandpa, the family to get out and enjoy Michigan at its finest. And I can't think of a better place to go than a farm here in Michigan. One that we're going to go to today is Tomac Farms. They're down in the Chesaning area. And the reason why we're going down there is because they not only have a great selection of pumpkins, but they also have some of the top growing products that are featured here in Michigan. Winter squash. Did you know that Michigan is #1 in the country in winter squash production? What about just plain old squash? Second in the nation on that. And when it comes to summer squash, we are third in the country when it comes to raising those products. So who would know better than someone that raises somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 different varieties of pumpkin, squash, whatever. I want to call it gourds, I guess is what I want to call it. Sarah Tomac, how are you this day? You're looking pretty busy out there, so you got to be looking at a whole lot of crop.
I am.
How's the farm doing?
The farm is amazing today.
Well,
we are enjoying the beautiful blue skies and the sunshine, and the weather is it's a perfect visit.
You've got a lot of things to show us on the farm, and I can't think of a better way to start than, first of all, for you to explain 250 different varieties of plants, pumpkin, squash, gourds. Are they all categorized as gourds, first of all?
They're actually all categorized as pumpkins. They're in the cucurbit family, which is all your vine crops, like your watermelons, your pumpkins, your summer squash, and things like that. When I refer to my pumpkins, I refer to mainly your winter squash eating varieties, and pumpkins is a general term that I use. And that's every color imaginable, from orange, your typical field pumpkins, right down to a green eating pumpkin, gray, blue, yellow, red, almost black colors as well, super dark green ones.
Now, that's something that a lot of people don't see, are all the different colors of pumpkins. Many pumpkin farms have the regular pumpkins like we're seeing right below us on the screen. But your pumpkins take on a whole different character. So explain to me how that works, and let's see some of them, okay?
All right. Well, I'll explain to you how it works. It's called, we hand pollinate a whole bunch of seeds, and we collect seeds from around the world. I have a couple of different seed guys that come on and say, hey, Sarah, plant these, try these, and let us know how they look. And then we go into so many different varieties that it's crazy. We'll switch over here, and we'll start with a wonderful pie pumpkin that's orange, and then I can move you into all sorts of things. What direction do you want me to go, Terry?
Hey, wherever you want to take me. I'm tagging along for the ride here.
Tagging along. I'll just start my little quiet, and then we'll walk around and see if it look. So what I have up here is a red October. It's in the Hubbard family. If anybody's familiar with Zenders from their squash dish, I'll get to those gray blue ones in a little bit. These are the same family. They're just a little bit sweeter. Sweet Fall is these wonderful pink looking guys. They're decent size. They're not giant. We'll get a close up here. Nice, beautiful blue and pink sort of stripe. Wonderful sweetness. They're a really good favorite. And we'll go into some smaller ones here in a minute. So this Autumn Frost, this is a wonderful tan one. It's in the butternut family. It's a new one for us this year. It's great eating. Takasuga Buto is similar to a buttercup in its flavor profile. It's from an Asian country. It's a wonderful dark green, tasty, great for looking at and decorating with as well. Jemmy Essie, that's our banana. I'm going to jump back and forth in between different varieties and bananas and squashes and profiles. because when you put them all together, it's a wonderful look and color. So here's a mini Hubbard, which is those giant, huge New England Hubbards, but in a very small size. And they're made to be small. That's the variety that they are. They're perfect for a family of 2 to 4 without having a whole lot of leftovers. So you don't be overwhelmed by the amount. Some black futsus, those are really nutty in flavor. They're a delicious green and round pumpkin. Great for looking. Slightly different version. I mess around. I play with the different varieties, and so this one was thrown off like an off variety from that. It's a little bit bigger. I mean, I'll use my hand for reference. So the black futsus are meant to be about about that size, of a little hand, softballish, and so this one is about 3 times bigger, but it's still delicious. We got some wonderful gourds for decorating to fill up your bowl. Yugoslavian finger fruits. I have a lot of customers or folks that'll come in and say, "Hey, it's Pac-Man. Where's your Pac-Man squash?" And this is what they're referring to. Or a ghost. Lots and lots of little kids love to draw their little ghost faced on them.
Now, are those
really good
for decoration, Sarah? Is that what those are?
These Yugoslavian fingers, these wonderful white guys, they're actually in the eating family. They're a winter squash, similar to the summer squash of patty pan. They're nice, firm. They add a great additive to any stir-fried dish, stew you want to add. They'll keep that shape. They won't fall apart like zucchini does.
Really? So how do you prepare a squash like that?
So one like this, it's a little bit different, but you wash it up really good, because we do wash everything that comes off the farm, except I still recommend you washing it when you get it home, because we're going to have dirt and stuff here too. So these fingers are all flesh, and you can eat them skin and all. And the seed cavity is right here, down in the center. So you're just going to cut it in half, scoop the seeds out, and then cut it up into your bite-sized pieces. That's why I say it's really good for a stir fry.
And the taste on it, sweet? But
it's sweet, it's mild, it loves to absorb any flavors that you add with it. I tend to add garlic and onion and bacon and sausage and cheese and fresh peppers and tomatoes, and put it all together in a mishmash, and eat it with some fresh bread.
Wow. So by the sounds of things so far, you can really be creative with a lot of these different squash as far as eating them goes.
Absolutely. I'll show you a couple others in a little bit here about the different sweeter and savory ones. My biggest thing is people ask, well, how do you cook it? What do you do with it? What's your favorite one? Yeah. Here's a black decorating pumpkin. Those guys are really cool. We're just getting them picked. Go back
to the snowballs with the stems on them there. What
snowballs with the stems?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, the snowballs with the stems. These are a wonderful pie-shaped pumpkin. They're white. They're literally a snowball, and they're beautiful. They're great for making cute little stacks, like this guy right here.
Oh yeah.
So they're fun. A lot of color in a little tiny space. They're really, really fun. So food-wise, I pretty much say be adventurous. Don't be afraid to try something new. You can't really mess it up, because cheese solves everything. Typical. It always does. Pie pumpkin. It's a wonderful orange pumpkin for making pies, except that's not the one that I recommend.
Okay, how many different varieties of pumpkin pie do you have that you can make a good pie with?
Out of the 250 varieties, about 200 of them make a really wonderful pumpkin pie.
Wow.
Now you could do a sweet and savory pie, or you could do a more of a butternut, which is a real sweet. This is a honey nut. It's a sweet, small butternut. It doesn't last as long as your commercial butternuts on the shelf, but it's really great. My favorite way to cook these guys right here, there's the size of a peanut, literally. I love to just take my vegetable peeler over a cast iron fry pan, put a little bit of oil in the pan, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, pepper, and take my vegetable peeler and peel it off and make like a hash. So as it hits the fry pan, it will cook. And then by the time I get the amount that I want, it's really about 5 minutes or so, give it a couple of stirs, and it's done. And I'm eating it like a potato hash, like a hash brown, but it's pumpkin.
Yeah. Oh,
And
wow.
it's so good, and it's filling, and it's tasty. Pumpkin itself, here's some more Yugoslavians. Pumpkin itself is a wonderful superfood, and it's got all sorts of nutrients and vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, anti-aging. They even say that there's some cancer-fighting properties to them as well, and omega-3s. Basically, anything and everything is going to be in that pumpkin. It's a superfood, right? So here's some more traditional acorns. We have a festival, which is a really sweet. I'll start at the top of the line. The festival is a really sweet pumpkin. It is great. Your acorn flavor is just a little bit sweeter. Then we go down to the heart of gold, or a sweet dumpling. This is my favorite. When we were kids, we used to call it a MSU squash because it was green and white striped. And then we go to the acorn. Great, fun, everybody's favorite acorn squash. They're super tasty this year. The rain and waters and the sunshine and the warm weather just made them really, really good. And then I have a mashed potato acorn, which is really mild, still has that sweet acorn flavor, but it's really mild, so you can use it like a mashed potato and do a literally, what do I want to say, like a stuffed potato.
That looks like watermelon right there.
That's Jester. That's a cross between Delicata and sweet dumpling, and it tastes just like that. Delicata is also a sweet potato is what it's also called. There's a Delicata there. They're long and they're skinny. One of the good ways to do is cut them long ways, scoop the seeds out, throw them on the grill, or put them in the microwave and cook them up. Another good way to do is do slices and slice them up about a 1/4 inch. And again, salt and pepper, a little bit of oil, put them on the grill. They're tasty.
I'm just kind of curious. You can prepare the squash in any way, but can you put it in containers and freeze the squash?
You sure can. There's my spaghetti squash. The big one and the little one here. So what I do with my extra leftover squash, I'll just put it in a Ziploc bag or freezer bag, 2 cups at a time if I'm preparing it for something, and then I'll pull it out later on, run some hot water over it, and it's ready to go. You can cook with it, absolutely. So
you
when you start realizing
everything before you freeze it, right?
I don't season anything before I freeze it, and then that way it allows me to make cinnamon rolls or pie, or I can do anything like super sweet, or I can just take it back out and roast it, and then add that pepper and salt to it.
Did I see a pumpkin or a squash that had like growth or something on it? But what in the world was that?
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Bueno Gusto. It means good from the oven. It is it's in the Hubbard family, same as those New England Hubbards. It's that big Hubbard, but it's a little bit sweeter in the savory side of things. So it's sweet and savory at the same time. What I like to do with that is the super dark orange and creamy on the inside. I will take it and make gnocchi out of it.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I don't season my stuff ahead of time, because it all depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, this is fascinating. All the different squash that you've got, and again, you're talking 250 varieties. How many acres of a farm does it take to grow all this?
Right now we are about 18 acres of pumpkins and squash and gourds, and I also have sweet corn and Indian corn and broom corn on that. I have the rest of the 200 acres is a commercial farming operation. So that allows us to be able to rotate our pumpkins around to help prevent disease and things like that.
Show me the in there.
Sorry, which one?
The fall man. I call the snowman.
Oh, my snowman?
Yeah.
This guy here. So all of our pumpkins are individually priced, and that allows us to mix and match with our stacks. And we've been stacking pumpkins since, I don't know, when did I open up? 30 years ago. So here's my little snowman. It's got a Cinderella on the bottom. and which is a really good eating. It's mild, really good for sautéing and those lighter cold soup type styles. The Queensland Blue is this really beautiful looking. It's dark orange and creamy on the inside. And my Warty Gnome is a wonderful gourd. It's a great topper, nice little standard pumpkin that gives you so much color in such a little spot.
As we go around and tour some of our product here, Sarah, you got to tell me whatever got you interested in doing something like this.
Well, about when I was 10 years old, I said to Grandma, Grandma, can I put a few pumpkins on a wagon on the side of the road and sell them right here at the house? And there's the wagon. And 30 years later, we're up to 250 varieties of pumpkin squash and gourds, and I live in the house.
Wow. And it sounds like you do a little cooking too.
I do a little bit of cooking. I kind of am spoiled in the fact that I can pick and choose on all of my varieties so that I know which ones to recommend to everybody, because when you come up and say which one's the best, what are you eating it with?
Oh, wow. Now that dark one that you was down on the bottom of your screen there.
This guy here.
Yeah. What's that?
That's a fairy tale. It actually, we picked it. It's not quite ripe, but it was in the way. And instead of running it over, we picked it. It will get a little bit darker green, and it really does look like a fairy tale pumpkin. It's beautiful dark orange on the inside and has this great flavor. Sleepwalkers in Lansing like to use the fairy tale, the Queensland Blue, which are these guys, and the Cinderellas for roasting to make their pumpkin beer.
Pumpkin beer?
Yes.
For real?
For real. Yeah, they roast our pumpkins and they make pumpkin beer.
Oh man, well that's a whole different program right there.
That is a completely different program for sure.
Yeah. The Warty pumpkins. Explain a little bit about how all that came about.
Which Warty ones?
Back a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, these guys, the Grizzly Bears. These little Warty guys right here. They're a fun chocolate colored pumpkin. Yeah, I'm in the shade here, so it doesn't really show out just exactly how beautiful they are here. Let's pick one out and put it in the sunshine.
Okay.
It's a beautiful, that should show you. It's a beautiful brown chocolatey mocha. Milk chocolate. I don't know how to call it. Pumpkin that's really great for bumps and stuff. It's a new one. It was new for us last year. It's their second year growing it, and it has been a fan favorite for the last couple of years now. So we try to have a couple of new varieties every year. Yeah,
I was kind of curious how some of these that you don't really see a lot of, how is the public accepting these?
They've been coming here long enough where everybody that is a longtime visitor is always curious as to what's my new one this year. So that's really where it's been the last few years. We definitely try to keep new ones coming all the time.
So when folks come to the market, come to the farm, they're going to see all of this by the buildings. Do they have a chance to go out in the fields or what else can they do?
Yep. We have a pick your own patch that we can go out to the field and check out. I'm going to show you the hull of seeded pumpkins. It's not rotten. I'll get to that in a minute. So we have out in the field a whole bunch of different pumpkins, mainly big orange ones that are hiding that you can take a search and find for and find just the perfect pumpkin.
Okay.
There's a straw here as well, and there's corn stalks. And we do have a couple of professional photographers that can make appointments, and they can come in and get your pictures, fall pictures taken. There's another stack. That's one of my traditional 3 to 4 pumpkins is a great stack, sort of thing.
Now you had a squash that was cut. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, this guy here. So this is a naked bear. It's a little orange pumpkin, but it's called naked bear because the seeds themselves are naked hulless seeds. They're often called pepitas in the store. So what it is these guys. I'm going to find me a little spot here. I've also have a little bit bigger. They're called Camillo. They're same green seeds. They're just a little bit bigger pumpkin, a little bit bigger seed. but I'll pick a couple of them out here. So the seeds themselves are a green seed, and there's no shell on them. So you just roast them and eat them just the way that they are. I like to do a couple of different batches. I'll put ranch on one. I'll do a cinnamon and brown sugar mix on another. And then some others I'll just leave a salted and just roast them and eat them. They pop like popcorn when they're ready. And you just eat them by the handful. And those are full of all sorts of wonderful, your majority of your vitamins and minerals are.
And again, like you said before, we're talking superfood here. Great for picking up all the nutrients that you really need for a healthy diet.
Oh yeah, a lot of people wonder where I get all my energy from, and it's because I eat a lot of pumpkin. I don't know why I eat a lot of pumpkin. It's not like I don't know. I could have a shortage of it if I'm not careful. But I have a lot of pumpkins that we really like to eat. This little flat guy right here, this is called the Bliss. This is a natural waxy coat that comes on it, and if I shine it, it'll shine up. But it's really cool. It's got like a frog shape. The first time I ate that, I thought that my mom had added something to it, and because she'd roasted it, and she goes, "Here, try it." And so I'm eating it, and I'm like, "What did you add?" She goes, "Well, nothing." It tasted like there was beef stock added to it. It was that savory.
Really?
It was so good. So a lot of times, my other favorite question is what do you eat your pumpkin with? I'm like, with a spoon.
Now you're talking quite a bit about grilling.
Yes.
Great.
We're outside.
Great for grilling outside.
Yes. I'm outside a lot, so I don't really have a whole lot of time to hang out inside a kitchen because kitchens are boring in my life. I much prefer to grill outside on the porch where I can be in amongst my pumpkins, and it brings out a flavor in them that you've never really experienced before. Because what happens is the sugars caramelize when they're on the grill, and they're so good. I mean, I literally eat things with a spoon.
If you had a chance to select your favorite of all of those, is there anyone that really jumps out at you that you really, really, really like?
Well, when I'm trying a new recipe, I will use the Queensland Blue because that is a wonderful standard that I can switch back and forth. I can make it a little bit sweeter, or I can turn it into a little bit more savory, which is that guy right there. I showed you some earlier. A little bit savory. So that's a great beginning. And then I will branch out from there on the recipe as to what direction I want to go. My other favorite is this Kent pumpkin here. It originates in Australia. It is a wonderful butternut, buttercup, sweet, really good. What I like to do with these is I'll cut the top out and I'll hollow it out and I'll roast it in the oven. And then while it's roasting in the oven, I'll just put it upside down on a tray. I won't add anything to it. And I will make up a rice pilaf, which of course cheese and sausage and bacon features heavily in. And then just before it's done, I'll put it all together. I'll put it inside it. I'll stuff it and I'll finish it off. And then as I'm scooping it out, I will scoop that pumpkin with that rice. Another way is to also quarter it, depending on how liquidy I make that mixture that day. So it's really good. You can eat these ones skin and all. And that's where a lot of nutrients are, is in your skin too.
All right. So anybody that's been watching this so far, they got to be asking, when's your cookbook coming out?
Well, funny you mention that. I have one that my mom and I put together quite a few years ago. We have one available here. It's got 150 different variety recipes in it. And we do recommend a few different varieties of pumpkins for those recipes. And then I will be working on another one this winter, a little bit more with pictures. The one that we have currently is just like a 3x5 index card size. And as you can tell, we're still picking pumpkins more and more every day. So that one this winter will have more pictures and more pumpkins and a little bit more.
Now, Sarah, why don't you give us the location, how we get to the farm? what about the directions? How to get to the farm? There we are. I see.
Here we
it.
are.
The easy way to get there. Tell me.
Easy way to get here. From Saginaw, you're gonna head straight towards Chesnang. We are 3 miles south of Chesnang on Corunna Road. We the east side of Chesnang is straight down out of town, and let's see, I would go 13 and then take 57 towards Chesnang, and just as you come in, you'll turn and go south 3 miles, and you'll see us on the farm. You can Google Tomac Pumpkins, and that will show us on the map exactly where we're at.
Now the mums. How's the supply of mums this year?
The mums come from a local nursery farmer, just small farm like us. They specialize in the flowers. I specialize in the pumpkins. They are wonderful. They're beautiful, hardy mum. You plant them and they last year after year.
And again, a lot of folks are concerned about the safety of operations, outdoor safety. By the sounds of it, you're well equipped to take care of just about anybody and everybody and doing it safely.
Pretty much, as you can see, a majority of our stuff is outside. We do have hand wash stations set up throughout. There's an extra added one as well. And we have our wonderful washer ladies will more than happy to hold the hose for you so you can wash your hands off. We've always encouraged kids to come and wash their hands before they leave and things like that. So we've pretty much, for us, for our safety and the current issues, we simply just spread out a little bit more. We're not as tight as we were before. And again, we're outside, and we got washing hot water facilities, we got cold water facilities, we got sanitizer, we got you name it.
Yeah. Now, did you do any wagon rides at all this year, Sarah?
We will be doing a small wagon ride, one family on the ride at a time on out to the patch, and that will only operate on probably Sunday or Saturday, depending if I have a child available to drive the tractor.
Okay. Yeah, we have to make sure that that's all taken care of, don't we?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a family affair here. I'm fourth generation on the farm. Grandma moved in when she was 12 years old, so we've been here since 1940, and the farm actually was built in 1880. So it's a family affair, and it all depends on who's available and who's not.
Well, and the other thing that I know you're really proud of is that you are environmentally responsible too. You do have an award from the state of Michigan regarding that, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. We are 100% completely aware of everything that the environment goes around. We don't want to contaminate our groundwater or any other resources, natural resources. We don't want to put those at risk. So we definitely want to keep those in mind.
Now, the season for you is going to open up on Saturday, September the 26th.
As you can tell, we're open right now. Saturday the 26th is our open house. So we're going to have a little bit more entertainment. Local agri-commodity groups will be coming out and visiting and sharing a little bit more information on the education of agriculture here on the farm.
So people have a chance to learn a lot more about Michigan agriculture on that weekend, on that day.
Yes, absolutely. And we have wonderful wonderful stuff going on. Yeah, Saturday.
The hours. Wow. What are your hours? What are your hours right now, Sarah?
Noon to dark, or 7 o'clock, whichever comes first.
So again, it's weekends are great, but during the week is probably even better if you're concerned about crowds.
Absolutely. During the week is a wonderful time to come. We have a lot of people that prefer coming during the week because they get one-on-one personal instruction on how to cook things, what to do, new flavors to try, and all sorts of fun things like that. My mom and I will be more than happy to steer you in a direction. You just come out and be like, hey, I had this once and it was really good. What do you recommend? So we'll help take care of you from there.
Oh, that's fantastic. Sarah, thank you very much for sharing. We really appreciate it. I love the diversity of the farm. And not only can you learn a lot, You gave us some really good recipe ideas too. I think I'm going to enjoy this fall with that.
Yeah.
Hook.
Absolutely. It's wonderful to join you today too, Terry.
All right, Sarah, you take care. Sarah Tomac has joined us today. Tomac Pumpkins, Tomac Farms, located at 197 Corona Road in the Chesaning area. And again, you can go online. What is that website address again, Sarah?
TomacPumpkins.com.
Fantastic.
You can also follow us on Facebook.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sarah. Tell Penny we said hello, all right?
All right, will do.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us, everyone, and get out to Tomac's. I know you'll enjoy it.